I want to commend my colleague Deputy Marie Sherlock for proposing this important motion. I want to welcome our visitors to the gallery, and I speak proudly in support of this motion as the leader of a party with a long track record of standing in solidarity with the LGBTQ+ community. Labour has a proud record, and indeed Labour was one of the first parties to establish a standalone section. I want to pay tribute to all our great activists in Labour LGBTQ, people like Eddie McGuinness, Bernie Linan, Aoife Corish, Carl Hayden and so many more who've done so much to progress LGBTQ+ rights. I'm also proud that Labour has never wavered or sought to punch down on trans people, because we in Labour stand in solidarity with our trans and non-binary friends, neighbours, family members and colleagues. And today, as we pay tribute to their bravery, we should recall the path that brought us here. The years from 2015 to 2018 were a period of extraordinary progress in Ireland, with Labour to the fore on bringing about change. Campaigners for trans rights, marriage equality, civil partnership and the repeal of the 8th Amendment stood shoulder to shoulder, because in Ireland we've resisted attempts from the right seeking to divide us. I speak as a proud feminist, and LGBTQ activists in Ireland know the real enemy. We recognise that there are conservative forces across Ireland who seek to turn back the clock on LGBTQ rights and on women's rights, and we resist those attempts. Last month marked 10 years since the passage of the Gender Recognition Act, and I pay tribute to the unyielding campaigning of Flack, of Tenney, so many others, the courage of people like Dr Lydia Foy, who we recently honoured at our Labour conference, and for Labour's part, Ministers Joan Burton and Kevin Humphreys, who were key to passing the law because they saw the need for change. But 10 years on, much unfinished work remains, particularly when it comes to the provision of gender-affirming healthcare. When it comes to trans rights in healthcare, many of the 2018 review's recommendations still sit on a shelf. Recognition for non-binary people, the need for care at home, protections for the bodily autonomy of intersex people. And Minister, we know, and I know you'll be aware, intersex people remain invisible in Irish law, unlike in Iceland, as Marie has said, where strong protections exist. In 2022, Ireland was found to have the worst trans healthcare in Europe. Many of these failings reflect wider systemic issues in the health service, very familiar to you as Minister, to all of us: over-centralisation, lengthening waiting lists and regional inequality. But consequences for trans people can be particularly severe. We see that trans people have the longest known wait times in Europe. People can be left waiting between 3, 5, sometimes even 10 years, and 1 in 5 adults seeking referral from their GP never receive one. When access is granted, the process can be invasive, pathologising and contrary to a human rights-based informed consent model. And these are not abstract policy questions, as our listeners in the gallery know. These are personal issues, they're human rights issues, and they affect real people. Plenty of people of every gender identity need access to HRT. Plenty need primary care that is local and integrated. So this motion is not just about strengthening our health system for trans people. It's about strengthening it for everyone. And finally, I wish to speak to the motion's call to ban so-called conversion therapy. And this is a vitally important aspect of the motion. I co-sponsored legislation from former Senator Fintan Warfield some years ago on this, and proudly did so. And we need movement on it. The notion that so-called therapy could end up doing damage to a client must be tackled, and I appreciate that complexities, Minister, mire the issue of designating the profession of counsellor. But you must act with urgency on this. It's nearly a decade since Labour Minister Brendan Howlin introduced legislation to regulate rogue crisis pregnancy agencies. But we've seen quite a number of governments falling since commitment was made to give statutory protection to the title counsellor. So, Minister, we need to see movement on this, and the legislation must have a cross-border element. The cross-border nature of these deeply harmful and damaging practices needs urgent attention. Minister, to conclude, we've made great strides before. Between 2015 and 2018, we've seen significant progressive changes for women and for the LGBT+ community. On this, the 10th anniversary of the Gender Recognition Act, we need to see more to be done to address shortcomings, serious shortcomings in model of care for trans people. Gurmag.